Yo, 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 and a bottle of rum. What's up, peoples? It's your boy MM2K, back again with, like Z calls, my 50-hour videos. What's up, everybody? Having a good day. I hope everybody is having a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful morning, or having a good day wherever the hell you at. I sure am. Wanna know why? You wanna know why I'm so excited today? Because my Stadia package is coming. Yeah, I'm tracking it now as we speak. But with that said, I want to be mindful of everybody in the chat. I want to thank everybody for coming through. What's up, what's up, what's up? Shout out, say something, you know what I'm saying? Let me know that you're here. And I think too, I'm gonna try not to make this too long because there's really not much to go over. I want to talk about a very interesting interview that I've heard. Wounded Penguin, what's up, what's up, what's up? I'm gonna talk about a very interesting interview that I had a great opportunity to listen to, and I'm gonna urge everybody to do so as well. In addition to that, I want to talk about Google Stadia, some things that I've learned from that interview, and I want to talk about cloud gaming in general. For the rest of this week, unless something like big happens, that's going to be my focus. And I get everybody doesn't care about it, but it's being the topic of discussion, right? And even, you know, hey, look, I get it. It's the internet. What we like to do is we like to trounce and pounce on stuff. You know what I'm saying? It reminds me of the movie Don't Be a Menace While Drinking Your Juice in the Hood, right? And it's a spoof of Menace to Society and a bunch of other what's the term? Blaxploitation films, whatever they want to call it. What, right? And there's that one scene where they're stomping the dude out in the street and they're just stepping all over him, cartwheeling and all that. That reminds me of the internet, right? Like as soon as the internet sees somebody down, it's like a shark smelling blood, man. It's just a mass drubbing, as I like to call it. You know what I'm saying? Big up to Xbox. Hey, yo, Xbox 448, what's good? What's good, homie? Brigadier William Wilderbeest, man, back-to-back shows you are here. I appreciate it, good brother. Good evening from your end. Hey, man, I appreciate it. Whatever time it is, man, I'm happy that you guys support the platform and y'all are here, man. So I want to do those few things because, like I said, I get it. The internet just likes to drag and drug people out. You know what I'm saying? Drama and arguments. That's what festers our attention nowadays. And the thing to laugh at is Google Stadia, right? And I'm personally okay with that. You know, I mean, it's not what I do. I don't sit here, once stuff becomes available, I'm a firm believer in don't knock it until you try it. Like I'm not an armchair quarterback person. Like I tell you guys all the time, you know, I don't want to start another Fallout 76 show like how me and my boy Heath did, but a lot of my most of my Fallout 76 wasn't even capping for the game quality. It was combating lies because I know that I was somebody that played it and 99% of the people that I was going back and forth with didn't touch it, but they wanted to run off another man's emotions. Like I feel a certain way about that. I don't like that. To me, that festers ignorance and stupidity. And I'm not trying to say I'm beyond ignorance and stupidity. Well, I am, but I'm not saying that I'm not stupid. You know what I'm saying? I'm far from the sharpest pencil in the box. But because of that, I always want to learn and I always want facts. So I feel a certain type of way when I'm dealing with situations where people don't cherish facts. You know what I'm saying? They just cherish spreading stupidity around. You know what I'm saying? I don't like that. So that's what all my Fallout 76 tweets and all that stuff was about. I gave the game a 7.5. So you see, but I'm used to it now. After 2 years of doing this, I'm used to it now. And I see a lot of people that just love doing it. And there's nothing that MM2K can do about it but hold my own platform for those of you that don't want to fester in the armchair quarterbacking and like I call the idiot herd. If y'all don't want to fester in it and y'all want the truth, regardless of my own bias, come here. Y'all have safe haven here. You know what I'm saying? With that said, everybody's welcome though. But this is definitely a safe haven for facts and truth, without all the idiot herd stuff. But with that said, I appreciate everybody coming through. let's get into this. So what sparked today's video? You know what I'm saying? What sparked today's video? All right. So what sparked today's video was, I do a lot of listening and fact finding and due diligence. Okay, I don't sit behind this microphone and just blah, 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 blah. I don't do that. Okay, you got a gazillion other podcasters that do that. If that's what you want, I'm sorry, you're gonna have to listen to them. I get up in the morning, I'm listening to podcasts. Pretty much my whole, you know what I'm saying, my whole outfit as far as what I do in the spare time, a lot of it is gaming related. I'm a tech nerd. I love technology and I love gaming. So I get up in the morning, I'll be listening to new podcasts, pulling out information. As I was sharing on Twitter yesterday, one of my favorite podcasts, even though I know it's not going to be a lot of people's cup of tea, but one of my favorite podcasts out there is Rebel FM. It's by the same people that were behind One Up, that were behind GMR Magazine. It's very nerdy in nature and presentation. It's not for everybody. But what I know that I'm getting from these guys is I'm getting facts. And then what I do is I double down on stuff that I'm listening on podcasts, and I do research. So one of the podcasts, unbelievably, and I'm shocked to say this myself, one of the podcasts, unbelievably, that I've been able to pull a lot of facts from, that I'm going to share with you guys, right? Because I love spreading when people get information. I ain't gonna keep these goodies to myself. But one of the podcasts, surprisingly, that has had a lot of fact-filled information is Podcast Unlocked. And I am shocked. I'm serious. Like, Podcast Unlocked, and more notably, a little podcast that Ryan Mcaffrey, the host of Podcast Unlocked, does, is called Unfiltered. So Unlocked is their weekly Xbox podcast where they talk all things Xbox. And Unfiltered is where once a month Ryan Mcaffrey sits down with a name, a major figurehead in the gaming industry, and they talk about gaming. So this month's episode for November was a sit down that he had with Phil Harrison. Now, for those of you that don't know, that live under a rock, Phil Harrison is the general manager of Stadia, and he's also vice president of Google. You know what I'm saying? He is a VP at Google, and his main role is the GM. He's the head of Stadia. Let's put it like that. And the people at Stadia, besides very controlled messaging, have been, you haven't heard from them, except for that disastrous AMA that they had like a couple weeks ago, right? And after I listened to this interview, which was very in-depth and very delightful as an info nerd for me to listen to, I thought to myself, no, why in the hell isn't that what you're talking about as it relates to Stadia? Like, the messaging here is so much better than the cluttered mess that Stadia has been presenting over the last several weeks. And what's happened is, I don't think that Stadia as a whole has gotten grasp of the whirlwind, which is this idiot herd out here in the internet. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying like I participate in it too. Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to put myself on a pedestal. I'm just saying at the end of the day, with all the effery and the foolery and the stuff that you know I get into, at the end of the day, it's all about the facts. So before the sun sets, I'm making sure that facts are out there, right? I may joke around and troll and do all that other stuff, but at the end of the day, when I'm behind this mic, it's for the facts, right? So Stadia doesn't seem to have a grasp on how to handle that. And it's surprising because listening to this interview that Ryan Mcaffrey did with Phil Harrison, it seems like he completely understands this dynamic. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to go over again. Hate to sound like a broken record. I'm going to go over just the finite points of this interview, even though I urge you all to listen to it. So I ain't got to take my word for it in case y'all think I got some bias or I got an agenda. And then I'm going to talk about my experience at a high level with cloud gaming. And then we're going to talk about it. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, who cares what I think at the end of the day? It's all about, was there anything for you to absorb and what your thoughts are? You know how we do it. Like I said, I might open up the phone lines for this, even though I don't want to take too long because I got a lot of testing to do. But before I get too deep into it, hey, yo, shout out to everybody. We got D Almighty. He said, leave your system on, lower power mode, and carry on gaming on mobile. Lady Foxfire, I thought of you in NFS yesterday when I saw that bot. She's talking to bot. Usually, Google beats Microsoft in a lot of things, but I feel here in gaming, Microsoft is going to kill them. Not with Xcloud, but remote play like PlayStation has already. Ooh, I got some. Hey, D, you about to get some higher education today, brother. But hold on to that thought. We got Ice Cream Gaming. Who else we got in here? We got Joe Hansel. We got Wartone. What's up? What's up? I'm seeing a lot of familiar faces. I appreciate that, man. Terry Brigard. Banghouse. I'm here to call you out. Me and Banghouse was getting into it on Twitter. No, that's my homie Banghouse, man. Ain't no never getting into it, man. I love all y'all. 706 Gamer. Wounded Penguin. Don't start. Hey, yo, Wounded Penguin, don't start your stuff. All right, with that said, let's get into it. All right. So, for those of you that are not familiar with Phil Harrison, I wasn't either. Phil was known through wives' tales to be the master of disaster, right? Like wherever he went, it was like he caused black crustacean and destruction and lava shooting out from the ground and ints falling from the sky, right? He was at PlayStation when PlayStation 3 launched horribly, and then Xbox when you know what I'm saying, when Xbox was going through the horrible stuff. And that's what he's known for. And a lot of major publications, including your boy here, I can admit when I'm wrong, had regurgitated these falsehoods. But here's the actual truth. Quick history on Phil Harrison. The guy's been involved with gaming since the age of 14. I can't, the name of the company loses me, but he began in gaming. He began coding at the age of 14 for like a rival or a knockoff of the Commodore 64. Now, those of you that ain't been gaming that long, I've been gaming 30 plus years. Commodore 64 was like, I think, my second gaming unit, and I loved it. You know what I'm saying? But y'all know about Commodore 64, Osagio Jimbo, and River City Ransom, and Ticket to Paris. Y'all know about that, man. Let me stop before y'all rack y'all brain, right? The internet don't go back that far. But he was developing for a knockoff to that. He was continuing to do development. And then one day, because he had some connections with people to Sony, he was asked to come on board the original 44-man team, I believe it was, at Sony during the PlayStation 1's launch. Okay. So he was part of the original team, and I believe, as he quoted, that the team now as far as PlayStation is 5,000 plus. So he has lineage in gaming. Okay. One of the more notable things that he's done, particularly at Sony, is he signed Naughty Dog. Like him and some other people, some of his scouts, they were out there looking for talent. He signed Naughty Dog, and he convinced, Media Molecule? He's the one that convinced Media Molecule, the people behind Little Big Planet, and I could have jacked that all up. That probably isn't Media Molecule, could be somebody else. But whoever was behind Little Big Planet, he's the one that convinced them to come on and become a Sony studio. And as you remember, even though PlayStation 3 may have had a lot of sore spots, one of their bright spots was Little Big Planet, how popular that game became. So he's responsible for signing Naughty Dog along with his scouts. His scouts was doing some work, said, hey, yo, we got this Naughty. He was there like, oh, okay, yeah, I'm with y'all. We found a gem, got him signed, and the rest is history there. And then he was responsible for pulling out Media Molecule. You know what I'm saying? Even in a rough time for Sony. So Phil Harrison has a lot of lineage in gaming, and particularly with Sony. One of the things that he noted in this interview that I thought was very important, and I mean, it's not that shocking, but it's different hearing it from the horse's mouth, so to speak, is that at the release of the PlayStation 3, the reason why the PlayStation 3 did fell under expectations was because pretty much, I don't want to say ad-libbing, but this is not what he says verbatim, but what I surmised from the interview is that when it came to the release of the PlayStation 3, and as they talked about who their competitors were, the thought process was split into two groups. Group 1 was the Japanese board, and Group 2 was the board from the Western countries, Europe, and the Americas. So as they were examining Microsoft and the fact that they were coming out first, and they potentially could be coming out first and all this other stuff, the Japanese brass didn't see them as important. They didn't see them as a threat. They were like, who? Xbox? They don't exist in Japan. And the way PlayStation had thought, because of how things were running with the PlayStation 2 and how Japan was so integral to gaming during the PlayStation 2 era, they had just automatically assumed that was going to carry over into PlayStation 3. And as we all know, that was a very siloed thought process, because now Western development pretty much controls gaming, right? Now you have had a resurgence with Japanese development this year, particularly with Capcom, you know what I'm saying? But overall, it's Western development that controls particularly console gaming, you know what I mean? And it was the brass that Phil was in, the Western kid, that was like, no, like, we still the big kids in the playground, but these Xbox dudes, like, we need to pay attention to them. And as they had things like pricing that was an issue, and as they had things like timing that was an issue, it was the powers to be, the Japanese brass of the board, that kind of dropped the ball, which led to Xbox taking advantage of different things and therefore being as successful as they were last generation, right? And in my mind, and in my opinion, I think that's why you see a complete 180 this generation, where they stripped the Japanese brass of the power of PlayStation and pretty much put it in the hands of Jim Ryan, who is a major Western figurehead, right? Because now Japanese development ain't where it's at as far as predominance in console gaming, right? So with that being said, that's why I think that decision was made, that they're trying to make sure that they eradicate any thought processes they had during the PlayStation 3 era, because that threw things in a loop that they really didn't like, right? And that's why they're leaning on Jim Ryan so much. Okay. Now, with that said, people wrongfully, and I did too, people wrongfully assumed that Phil Harrison left PlayStation because the PlayStation 3 was trash and therefore he got kicked out. And no. Here's what happened. He was being pressured by his wife. She wanted to start a family. And if you do, and I did my due diligence, if you look at when his children were born and all that other stuff, everything coincides. She wanted to have a family, and he said that he was starting to get repeat fatigue, right? And those weren't his words, but it's an industry term. Meaning that sometimes when you're a VP or when you're a head of a specific group and you just keep doing the same things over and over again, but you feel like you're more capable and you feel like that you've plateaued as far as you can go, that you start getting bored and you're like, I don't want to do this, right? So the culmination, because they were wrapping things up for PlayStation 3 and heading into the PlayStation 4 era, that he didn't want to keep doing the same thing over again. So he went and he was just stepping down to have a family. And he said he couldn't have a family at that capacity, being that he had to travel to Japan once a month. So he stepped down. He also talked about investments that he's had. And after he stepped down, he invested in a company that had a heavy stake in Atari, which apparently made him uber rich. You know, it was to the point to where Ryan Mcaffrey was like, why are you even still working? You know, so he doesn't even have to do this. He's uber rich, right? Okay, so during that stint, and Atari started to really, even though that he created something that helped boost Atari, I think it was like a studio that made him uber rich, Atari in whole was starting to collapse due to the financial, you know, impact across the globe, right? And so then him and his business partner stepped down from that, and he's just chilling like a villain, right? Then all of a sudden he's getting these calls. Now he says that during the beginning of his tenure in working with EA, him and Don Matrick became real close, aka Donnie D. So him and Donnie D during his whole stint at EA, they were cool. Donnie D's like, yo, I'm in charge now. I want you to head my European studios. He said he kept turning him down, kept turning him down, kept turning him down. And then he found, after his family stabilized it or whatever, his family situation stabilized, I would presume he just finally said, F it. All right, Donnie, I'm going to do it. So he's rolling with Donnie D in charge of the European studios, right? And he was over Rare while they were doing the Connect stuff. He was over Rare, not Rare, but Lionhead Studios, you know what I'm saying? And he was just throwing it at the blessing of Donnie D. So, of course, he was asked, well, what about Fable Legends? And he said, the thing with Fable Legends was, what may have ultimately led to its demise. He didn't really want to talk about it because he thought it was a sensitive subject because people lost their jobs. But what I could surmise from his comments is that he felt like the slow turnaround with Fable Legends was due to the fact that Lionhead Studios, with all the stuff that was going on with Peter Molyneux, or whatever, was not at a place to where they could create the games as a service type of game that Donnie D wanted, right? Like, it wasn't happening fast enough, you know, but Donnie D was patient with it. He was patient with it. He still wanted to roll, but it wasn't reaching the benchmarks as far as timelines were concerned that the brass wanted. So then what happened was, now Phil Spencer's in charge. And Phil Spencer is a Satya Nadella guy, right? Now, when we have big infrastructure changes like this at the head, and we just seen it recently with Sony, that people start pulling in their guys, right? So as Satya is pulling in Phil and he's dumping Donnie, you know, because Donnie was a Steve Ballmer guy, and then Don Matrick is real close friends with Phil. Phil steps down. Makes perfect sense. It makes perfect sense. Phil steps down. Phil Harrison does. So then he's chilling again like a villain, and then in comes Stadia, the thought of Stadia, and then he goes and he works with Stadia, right? So that's the Phil Harrison history in a long shot. It's not the Crimson Skies, destroy the earth and the babies type of wives' tale that we've been told. And I've been telling that story too, and it's false. It's just, you know, unfortunately it was false. But Phil Harrison, you know, as you can tell, he's not a boisterous guy. He's real mute, and sometimes I feel like he's mute to his own detriment, because after listening to this interview, I was saying to myself, why are you being poached for this information? Like, you should be more outwardly to give information, not about what I just shared with y'all, but some of the stuff I'm about to get into. Why you should not have to be poached for this information. Like, you should be out here with this stuff, promoting Stadia in this fashion. This makes it a lot more sense of who it's for. It makes it a lot more appealing, right? So that all of that makes sense to me, and I thought that was intriguing, right? But with that said, before I go into the meat and potatoes about how Stadia is being launched, what really makes sense to me, and then talk a little bit about my cloud gaming experience overall and what I'm going to cover for the rest of the week, let me go to my chat. Heath Stevens, Heath Stevens, you late to the party, bro, but you just in time. Joanza Vallega says, as far as I know, you can, because the controller comes with a verification code, and plus it's a soft launch. Only the people that purchase the Founders Edition can. Gikuma says, okay, boomer. Oh, I know that's cute. That's the cute phrase. The Almighty Spartan God, Stadia is a mistake. I think it's too early to say that yet. I mean, I'm gonna get into that, D, where right now I do believe there's no doubt, and you cannot disagree, that the launch has been bumbled. The launch, and I'm gonna be honest with you, after listening to this interview, it didn't have to be this way. So that really makes it more pathetic that they rolled out the launch like this. I just really think that they got knocked off their heels because remember when Project Stream first came out? They thought they had it in the bag. And then came this whole dynamic with Project Xcloud. And when Project Xcloud came out, then you had the negative forces that kind of accumulated around Stadia, because you got half of the people that were doubting Project Stream, which is now Stadia, and now you got the Xbox people now hammering in, where the Xbox people were originally on your side, but they were originally on your side because they knew they were trying to promote cloud gaming. So things were a little bit rosier, but now that Xbox has officially launched its platform, now those people left, and I think that took them by surprise emotionally, and they just haven't rebounded from it. But if they would have got themselves together and repurposed their message the way that Phil Harrison does in his interview, they'd have done a lot better. They'd have done a lot better. So, D Almighty, I get what you're saying. Like, it looks bad as far as the rollout. It makes you feel a large sense of incompetence, right? And I can sit here and talk about the idiot herd all I want, but it is what it is. Like, I tell my kids all the time, they tell me, well, this should have happened and that should have happened, Dad. And I say, look, if I walk by an alleyway and I see a bunch of nefarious mugs dressed up like Michael Jackson's Beat It, and they got a bunch of lead pipes and they smacking their hands and they rolling chains around like it's Mad Max in the Thunderdome. And I'm like, well, damn, that alleyway is a shortcut for me to get home quicker. If I go around the other way, it's going to take me 10 minutes. Technically, yes, I should be able to walk down that thing. I would walk down that alleyway. But if I ain't got my thing on me and I get my ass trampled and stomped, who looks like the dummy? Am I going to get like a bouquet of flowers and the whole world going to meet me at the hospital? No, they're going to be saying, dummy, didn't you see them mugs down there? Didn't you know better? And as far as Stadia's launch, I get the element, and it shouldn't be this way. But Phil Harrison and company, didn't y'all know better? Y'all should have packaged y'all message better, which you did in this interview, but I'm going to get into that. So, D Almighty, I'm not even mad at you for that thought, because it's rooted in fact. Like, I don't agree that Stadia is a mistake, but I agree that the aloofness of their presence is a mistake, definitely. So I can dig it. I can dig it. D Almighty also says, most question was Sony saying that they're going to buy shit. You think they're going to purchase an IP instead of a whole studio? No, man, they're going to buy studios, man. Listen to this interview. Sony loves to acquire and build. They love this building shit. That's another thing that I got from this interview. Like, Phil Harrison, like, helped you peer into the world. Sony loves building games. They love that shit. You know what I'm saying? Where Microsoft loves making money. They love that shit. Now, don't get me wrong, they both got to make money, but I think the intricate, no, Microsoft loves making money and they love playing games. But Sony more, like Microsoft has a passion for playing games to where Sony has a passion for building games. And that's why I think you see a lot of kumbaya. And Phil Harrison talks about this in his interview. I urge y'all all to listen to it. He talks about how he come in on the Sunday, he come in on the meeting, the weekly meeting, the morning meetings, or whatever they call their meetings, you know. And everybody talking about the experiences they had playing other games on other platforms or whatever. Where Sony likes to get into convincing people, convincing top tier talent. Roll with us, man. Come on, man. Stop what you're doing over there, man. Come kick it with us, man. Let's build this phenomenal thing, man. Let's blow the world's mind. That's how Sony approaches game development. Where Microsoft more has a consumer mind state is, oh, we love to play games. You know what I'm saying? And honestly, it shows in the end product, you know. So I definitely listened to that interview. Homie Buck, that's his morning all right, so let's get into my thoughts as far as Stadia. All right. And give y'all my experience and what I'm going to do for the rest of the week as far as that and cloud gaming. Now, Phil Harrison, in a nutshell in this interview, described who Stadia is for, because the biggest question is, who the hell is this platform for? And it didn't make any sense, because if you think about it, if Xbox, Digital Foundry did some analysis on Destiny, and they said Destiny actually isn't 4K. That in a lot of instances, from their testing, from their network, it runs at 1080p, an upscaled 1080p, right? Now again, because this is all network based, it's going to be different strokes for different folks. But it sounds like that the 4K experience isn't consistent, right now at launch. With that being said, let me back up a little bit, because big up to homie King Thrash. He's shown that Digital Foundry may have some issues, maybe in not ways that we agree, but I'll phrase it like this rather. If you want to take what Digital Foundry says at verbatim, it doesn't sound like that the output, the quality of the output as far as visuals are concerned, are consistent 4K 60. But when you go to all other publications, the gameplay is smooth. The latency is hardly noticeable, and the input lag, like there really isn't any. You've had a couple of instances here and there where people, had some issues, but then they admitted, oh well, my network was clouded. Okay, well this depends on the network. So how can you judge the performance if your network is clustered? You know what I'm saying? So but the vast majority, including IGN as well, said this thing rivals every other cloud service that's available right now. Like it's as far as performance is concerned, it's the clear winner. And via my experience with Project Stream, I would totally agree. I'm going to be 100% sure once I get my kit, right? But the question is, who is this for? Like, if you want true 4K, even though you can't get 4K 60, if you want true 4K, your best bet is an Xbox One X. And if you're primarily a PC gamer and you want... Oh, who is this calling me? Is that Customs? I got something coming from Customs. I got all types of packages coming here, baby. I think that's Customs. You better give me my stuff. Anyway, that being said, if you're a PC gamer and you got a top of the line rig that can do 4K 60, why would you need Stadia, right? Right? That's a reasonable question, right? Well, guess what? Everybody doesn't have. What if you're that gamer What if you're that gamer that don't have an Xbox One X? Yeah, you don't. And look, it's not like Xbox One X is the predominant console out there, right? Right. We probably can't even say that the PlayStation 4 Pro is a predominant console. Like most consoles out there are what? Mainly the PlayStation 4 Slim or an Xbox One S. And them two consoles ain't bucking with Stadia. So for $139, at launch, you can get Stadia that performs better than your average, the vast majority of consoles out there. Right? Right. For $139. And then as far as you ain't gotta pay you ain't gotta pay the extra $10. The first 3 months are free. And then if you want 4K gaming, you know what I'm saying, then it's gonna be $10 a month. But as of 2020, the $10 a month is going to mean a lot. And I'm gonna get into that in a little bit. But again, what you're getting at launch is a 4K capable unit, 60 frames per second capable, that has better performance and fidelity than most of the consoles out there. Most of the consoles that are out there are what? PlayStation 4 Slims and Xbox One S's. Period. For $139, you get that. Now, in addition to that, because I know there's people going to say, well, look, man, the Xbox is going to drop in price or whatever and all the other stuff. But here's what you don't get with consoles. You get mobility. And I'm someone that when I'm not up here in the studio rapping what you guys are playing, and my wife, like, I need to talk to you. Every day she got something to talk to me about for hours. So I got to sit in the goddamn living room. And I got to suffer for hours, right? So when I got to do that suffering, I be on the sticks. Now I've been fortunate enough and been blessed enough to be involved in, betas and stuff to where I can now transport all my top of the line fidelity console gaming and my top of the line PC gaming, and I can port it to the living room, to a Fire Stick at that. And for the most part, it performs well. But that's what Google also presents for you, Google Stadia. To take that performance and fidelity that's better than your average console that's out there, and you can take it with you all around the house at an instant. Boom. You can port it to a tablet, and if you got a Google Pixel phone, you can port it to your phone if you want to too. But bam, it's just as easy as putting it in your pocket, taking the thing downstairs off of Google Chromecast. It's just that portable. I ain't gotta lug my PC, I ain't gotta lug a console, it's just like that. Or if you got the web browser, you can do it off the Chrome web browser. Just like that. So, with that being said, that's Stadia's marketing at launch, and that's what it should have been at launch. For a cost less than your average console, like I don't even think that they should have even bucked with Xbox One X right now. They shouldn't have even done that. They should have just simply said, for the cost less than your average console out there, you get better performance, better fidelity, you know what I'm saying, and mobility in the home. Because this is how Phil Harrison described it in this interview. And then, after our launch window, when we go live, when these features come out, and then you can start porting this to any phone and any Android device or multiple devices, then the performance and the technology skyrockets. where we will be comparable, if not better, than the top performing machines out there on the market. That's how they should have. Hey, yo, that would have been a more clear-cut message where people would have said, you know what, for $130, okay, then that makes it worth it to try it at $130 at the beginning. I get this better performing thing at the beginning, you know what I'm saying, of its launch, better than my PlayStation 4, better than my PlayStation 4 Slim, better than my Xbox One S, and I can try it out now. That'd have been cool. Now, another thing that I believe that they should have done on top of that is that anything outside of a 3-month launch window should not be $60 on Stadia. Like anything older than 3 months. So what is this, November? Anything that released sooner than August 1st should be less than $60. That's another thing where they messed up too. Because you don't have no brand new experience for people to get into. You're giving them Destiny for free. And the fact that they're only giving you Destiny for free at launch, I think tells you where they're at as far as their belief in saturation at launch. Like they know that at launch, this is for tech enthusiasts. But this is the current climate. You can't just sit there and say, okay, well, we're just making this for the tech enthusiasts, the people that are willing to pay for a beta. You know what I'm saying? And this ain't the first time this has been done. This happened with Shadow Blade. Y'all like, Shadow Blade? What the fuck is that? Shadow Blade is another cloud service that has been out there. They have a paid for beta, and Shadow Blade has gotten renowned praise. Shadow Blade is excellent. Shadow Blade is excellent. But guess how much Shadow Blade is? Shadow Blade is $35 a month. And so because that price point is so steep, Shadow Blade doesn't have a lot of saturation. So it's apparent that what Google's trying to do is they're trying to do a paid for beta like Shadow Blade to cover costs, to make upgrades and all that other shit using real life samples, which ain't nothing wrong with that. They're not forcing nobody to do nothing. You ain't got to do it, right? But if you're going to do that, you have to be very concise and very aware, situationally aware of what the potential backlash is going to be, and you got to have an answer for it. And I think the biggest Achilles heel for this launch is the fact that they have $60 retail games for old shit. Even though your intention is that you really ain't expecting everybody to buy this shit right now. You want people to get the system in their hands and play Destiny for 3 months. Now I see here, hold on. Let's do this real quick, y'all. I'm gonna flip this a little bit. Y'all see that? Google Stadia is gonna have a Black Friday sale. So let's check it out. There's a Black Friday sale deals. Arrive Thursday, November 28th. Get a sneak peek now. They're having sales on Pixel phones, all this other stuff. So let's scroll through and see what we see. Save $80 when you buy Stadia Premier Edition and Nest Wi-Fi. I don't see any deals on any games. Where's the deals on the games? Like, and I don't have the kit in front of me. What they do is I don't think you can access the store until you had a kit. But that's a problem. Like, get out. You got to get out in front of your messaging. Now, I tagged Phil Harrison. And I hope he's listening. And y'all probably saying, MM2K, who the hell you think you are? You guys will be so surprised at who's listening. As Z tell you, we've had conversations with people behind the scenes that will blow your mind, but we don't want to put anybody in any peculiar situation. So we don't talk about everybody that we talk to. I don't talk about everybody that I talk to. You'd be surprised who's listening. And because, as how the community is saying, MM2K is probably one of the only 3 people on this planet doing nonprofit work for Stadia, as they describe it. So I hope somebody from Stadia is listening. But your biggest Achilles heel is that you're paying full price for old shit. You can't do that, man. Anything over, like, y'all gotta take this hit, man. Y'all Google, baby. Y'all gonna have to take this hit, baby. Anything that's over 3 months old should be no more than $30. People already got this shit. And even if you're not expecting them to really go rock 'em, sock 'em in your store, you just want people to play Destiny, and that's what it is. They want people to play Destiny, they get statistics off of that, and they upgrade based off of those statistics. That's all this launch is for. I'm sorry. Shadow did the same thing. It's just that Shadow's messaging on this was a lot more user-friendly. It's just that users didn't buy it. So Google's looking at this and they're like, we want a whole bunch more end users than Shadow got, but we ain't willing to front the car. Hey, look, we want these bugs got to drop something on this, and reasonably so. I get it, because we got a lot of infrastructure to fix. You know what I'm saying? How can we do this? And this is the thing, Shadow. And I know what people are going to say, and they're not, and my Xbox brethren, you're not going to like this, but this is the truth. People are looking at what Project Xcloud is doing, and they're saying they're giving us 50 games for free. Why can't Stadia do something similar? And during their phase of the beta, the reason why Stadia is not doing that is because Stadia is thriving to be the best. And I hate to tell y'all are not gonna like this. But like I said, I don't give a damn, as my friend Mask says. I don't give a damn what y'all like. When I gotta supplement that, all right, I gotta deal with that or deal with the truth. Project Xcloud, whatever it ends up being retail, is not striving to be the best. It's just simply striving to be there. Now, I say that to say this. I want to show y'all something. Big up to my homie Nintendo. Just follow this channel. I want y'all to see this. This is Stadia gameplay from Nintendo. Matter of fact, let me try it like this. Let's get rid of the music so y'all can hear everything my man got to say. Let's do it. Hold on. Let me do this too.
Okay, scratch the last video I put up about Stadia. This is running on my desktop, and I guess not dealing with the HDMI lag of my TV. And this is actually pretty freaking wacky. It's dang near impossible to notice the input lag. Like, if I go back and look at a video, like a slow motion video of my hand and the screen, I can tell. But this is legitimately really good. Here, well, let me jump here so you can see the... Oh, let me capture the... Here we go. So, there you have it. This is Destiny 2 running on Stadia on my desktop. I'm honestly pretty impressed. Okay, scratch the last video I put up about Stadia. This is running on my desktop.
So with that said, that is a real life test of Destiny 2, movement, input, all that other stuff. And that's synonymous from what I'm experiencing from platforms that dedicate themselves, that want to be the best in a cloud gaming solution, right? Now, I say that to say this. I want y'all to compare that to some of the Xcloud videos that you've seen. I shout out to Salty's Gaming. I got no problem with You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Saltiest Gaming, right? And I would show his video, but I didn't get his permission to do so, so I'm not going to do that. Saltiest Gaming got a video out there where he's showing his experience with Xcloud. Now, here's the thing. If you haven't been testing these cloud systems for the past year plus like I have, what you have in your hands with Project Xcloud as far as the technical marvel of cloud gaming, you would be impressed with. But if you look at that example from his video, from Salty's video, in comparison to this, the input lag is paramount. And if you're playing a game, that's all the difference. I'm gonna give you an example. What you just seen from from Stadia is what I've experienced with two other, and I'm gonna reveal who those companies are tomorrow in my tomorrow's video. Or fuck it, I'll do it today. Let's see how much y'all support my platform, or y'all give a damn. Like my bro man said. Do y'all give a damn? Do y'all really give a damn? If y'all give a damn, and I get 3 comments in the free messaging app that I'm posting right there, then you're going to, then I'll reveal who those 2 companies are. Top Dog 2K17 said there's still input lag, I see. Let me say this. There's still input lag, but it's hardly noticeable. And in precision gameplay, you can't see it. Like, let me go back here. I want to see what you see. Hold on. Oops. Wrong screen. You know I'm notorious for that. Yeah, exactly. So I don't know what you're talking about. Like my experience doing PC gaming, I don't know if you do PC gaming, but this, yeah, like moving the mouse around like that. Look at that. What? Are you confusing the movement of the characters, the animations with input lag? Like it's there. Technically, input lag is there. Anybody would be a fool to say that there's not input lag with cloud gaming. You would be a fool to say that, but Top Dog, I think you're over exaggerating. I think you might be mistaking the animations of the character with input lag. Now compare that to all these Xcloud videos where people hit the left trigger and then then it's like a pause and a respawn. You know what I'm saying? And the reason why I'm so critical of Xbox in light of that is because none of these other services, the product that I'm going to reveal, I call NDA 1, the product that I'm going to reveal called NDA 2, Project Stream, which is now Stadia, none of those that were in beta had the input lag that I've seen with Project Xcloud. And that frustrates me because this is Microsoft. Opposite of Google Stadia, them 2 other companies in nowhere, shape, form, or fashion have nowhere near the amount of resources financially, servers, none of that Xbox has. But see, the problem that we see with Xbox today is that Xbox doesn't strive to be the best across the board in anything. They just want to be there. So for those of you that don't understand the performance of its peers in the cloud space, I get it. When y'all get Xbox Xcloud in your hands, you're like, oh, this is impressive. But I tell you what, boot up Ghost Recon Breakpoint on that mug that requires precision gaming. Boot up Destiny on that mug that requires precision gaming. Boot up anything that requires precision aiming and gaming, and you'll see how trash the system is, even in beta. And I'm telling you, from what I've seen from Project Stream and what I've seen from the other 2 cloud services that in no way, shape, or form have the resources that Xbox has, this is out of network stuff. and I can play precision-based gaming. Like my people that play Ghost Recon Breakpoint will appreciate this. There's the wolves, all right, that are in Ghost Recon. That's the creme de la creme of the enemies. If you pop a shot off at the wolves, you better kill them. You have like 3 seconds to kill a wolf, or your ass is dead. If you're nowhere around now, I'm at a level to where the wolves are like 100 above me. Now, for those of you that are like closer to the wolves level, then you'll probably be like, okay, not so much now. But right now, towards the earlier parts of the game, if you pop a shot off at a wolf, you got 3 seconds to kill him or you're dead. You're dead. You might as well just you might as well just die. You might as well just kneel there and die. Now, I'm gonna compare. I'm even going to throw them a bone, and I'm gonna compare, and big ups to Paul G. Thank you, Paul G. I just need 2 more in the free messaging app. Paul G says cloud gaming isn't there yet, and it's okay to admit it. I'm going to address that, Paul G. Give me 1 second, brother. That's a very good point, though. And it's not rooted 100% in falsehood, Paul G, because I think I know what you're referring to, but I'm going to get into that. Playing Ghost Recon Breakpoint through a cloud service versus Xbox game streaming, meaning they're using my Xbox that's in my house. I had less input lag through game streaming than I did through the game streaming now presented with Xbox. And I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. I said, wow. That's what really ticked me off. I'm not even gonna lie. That's what really ticked me off. It ticked me off for 2 reasons. That you're trying to tell me that an infrastructure based in the cloud can do better than your service that's pulling from my same Xbox in my goddamn house? Are you telling me this? Really? Heath Stevens said, make him a mod. You're not a mod. Hey, bro, I got to be careful with videos. I got to get approval. So I don't know who it's from, but make sure they get, you know what I'm saying? You know, YouTube is on that. They on that stank, Heath. I appreciate it though, bro. But whoever it's from, if you can get me approval for it, or if I can get approval for it, I'll play it. I got to be real careful with videos though. With that said, I am going to make you a mod, Heath. I don't know what the hell's wrong with me. Just like I say, only thing I ask for my mods is don't, you know, like Z said yesterday, don't, you know, let people speak their truth. As long as they ain't doing no racist stuff or talk about nobody's kids, let them go at it, man. I don't offend easily. I don't offend easily. And I don't offend at all. I don't put myself on a pedestal like that. I'm no better than nobody. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not saying that you would do that, but I've never addressed that with my mods. I'm not saying I needed to with you, Steve. I mean with Heath. Damn, Steve. It's old age. But just in general, I never addressed it with my mods. I'm letting all my mods know right now, you know, because Z had to deal with it yesterday. That's why I'm bringing it up. But with that said, I was ticked off on 2 fronts, and I got another message from Heath. Was it Heath? Yeah, that's what Heath said. That. Yep. I need 1 more, y'all. I got so that's what ticked me off. That playing a cloud-based game was better than streaming from my own goddamn Xbox. And if me streaming from my own goddamn Xbox, again, I'm not a technical wizard. I don't know all the compute units and gigawatts and gigahertz. I don't know all that shit, right? But I do got some, but I've managed an IT area, even though my experts were the focus of the main technology there. I know enough. I've worked with Microsoft on very strenuous and very important IT related matters. As far as some of our internal systems for some very important stuff. Now, my people that do all the gigahertz and the gigawatts, you know what I'm saying? I know how to assemble a team that handled all that stuff, right? And they could explain it to me in the details that I needed to know at that time. With that being said, all these people that want to, you know, run with the Freudian slip that I made in regards to input lag and latency, that want to do the same, that want to do that same dumb stuff like they did with John Petty, but then got backsmacked by John Petty this year when he was able to prove that all his numbers was legit. Y'all go ahead and do that. But I will say that, I say that to say this, that I may not know all the nagahertz and the bibblewatts. I may not know all that. But what I can say is this. If I can't stream from my own console that's laced with Cat 8 cords. Cat 8 cords are, I don't think we're at Cat 9 yet. Cat 8 cords basically are the best LAN cords that you can get retail. You can get retail Cat 8 cord. My house is, everything is connected via Cat 8. If via Cat 8 cords, via gig up, gig down, internet speeds, via the best modem that I can get in regards to my internet provider, with the best settings that I can get. If through all of that, I can stream my Xbox with better input lag and better latency than a cloud-based service, but yet Project Xcloud is full of Xbox One X's, that's a problem. Again, I repeat, if streaming from my Xbox One X, right? If streaming from my Xbox One X in home, in network, provides worse input lag, right? Noticeable latency than what a cloud-based service does, but yet your cloud version of this technology is full of Xbox One X's, the same machine that I can't stream in good comparison to its peers, then you got a problem. And I say that to say this, that anybody trying to compare the performance of Project Xcloud just isn't aware. It cannot, Project Xcloud cannot compete with Google Stadia. It cannot compete to the other platforms. It cannot compete at all with them. A lot of it has to do with the fact that it is filled with Xbox One X's. And these other platforms are using more diverse infrastructure that will make their platforms more powerful as they swap shit out. Do you truly think that this is going to be Stadia's performance at the launch of next generation? No! They're going to have that shit bumped up. That's why they have a paid-for beta right now. To say in the same manner that Shadow had a paid-for beta. But unlike Shadow, Google Stadia want their money up front. They ain't gonna wait $35 a month for you to cancel halfway through and say, oh, I really don't want this. They want their money up front for their infrastructure changes. And they gonna swap out their blades or whatever else they gotta swap out to increase the capacity of their infrastructure. Now, you ain't got to know about the banana watts and all the other shit to understand that. Now, am I saying, therefore, it's going to be a better performance in a PlayStation 5 or even an Xbox Scarlet? No, I'm not saying that. But what they will have on their side is that same pinpoint missing latency and input lag or lack thereof that you can take everywhere. And Project Xcloud ain't gonna have that because it's built off of Xbox One X's that right now I can't even get a better performance of in network. So as you see people pew-pewing on the internet with that input lag, talking about this is impressive, you can't play with that. I can't get jiggy with that. I need to be able to boot up something. Oh shit, there goes a couple of wolves. I got to kill these bugs in 3 seconds. Boom, boom, boom. Oh shit, I did it. I need that. And according to IGN, I get that because they announced one of the servers. I'm not going to say anymore. But they said that Google Stadia is better than all the other cloud alternatives right now, as far as performance is concerned. They just don't like the software. So here's why I answer Paul G. Paul G says, yo, MM2K, cloud gaming just isn't ready yet. And guess what? You're right. It's not ready to take over consoles. We got like 5 years before that's even a thought. At least 5 years before that's even a thought. Here's what it's ready to do. It's ready to give you viable gaming on the go, whether you're on the go in your house. Oh, honey, come and sit with me in the kitchen. I got to tell you about something that happened at work today. Okay, boop, 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 boop. I put it on my phone. I'm on my tablet. I'm sitting while I'm finishing my Destiny game. I ain't got to shut it off. Oh, guys, I know we doing a raid. I'm sorry, we got to shut it off. Now you ain't got to. Boop, boop, boop. Go take it right back upstairs. It gives you the same fidelity, the same performance, whether you're on a high-powered rig, a high-powered console, or not. That's what it's ready to do. Now, if you want the most grandiose experience, right now you get a dedicated device. Okay. But if you want flexibility, which a lot of adults like me like, you know, in my tenure, a lot of I've said this before, a lot of the IT people that I work with, they were either on one side of the tracks or the other as it relates to games. You had the older brass that hates gaming. They think gaming is a waste of development talent. Like outside of databases and Oracle and all types of other shit, SQL, you're wasting your freaking time. You're wasting your talents on toys, digital toys. That's the way they think about it. Then you have the other side of the tracks that appreciate gaming for what it is. Coding marvel, right? You have those that are in that other brass, the latter brass, that I be sitting there rapping to, and they be on YouTube watching videos. Now, at this time, I was doing something experimental. There was a way for you to stream your Xbox through that RDNA remote. You can stream your Xbox to your PC, right? Using that Xbox Companion, as it's called now. And then from your PC, you can stream that feed to a device using RDNA. I think it was called RDNA remote. All right. Now, as you can imagine, the lag on that was hideous, but I like testing it out. You know, and I was testing it out with the Division. And somebody said, and I remember my homie, I'm gonna call him Bruce, my homie Bruce. Bruce came up to me and said, yo, is that the Division? I said, yeah. He said, how the fuck are you playing? I said, Brian. I explained it to him, and he's trying to be like, oh, well, you know, he said, this is laggy as hell, but this is dope that you can even get this up, right? He was like, man, I wish instead of me sitting there watching these videos, I can't wait till the day that you can game on your phone like this with these type of games. So there's a slither of the community that's like that appreciates to be able to game. You know, sitting in a lunchroom, instead of reading a book, they play their game on their phone. You know what I'm saying? Instead of watching videos, YouTube videos, they just whip out and play their game. I understand that most of you listening don't want to do that. Y'all just want to, y'all only want a game sitting in front of the house. Y'all may consider people like that, like myself, losers, and so be it. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? That being said, there are adults that would appreciate to do that. But on the flip side of that, It's the younger generation, people my children's age, people in their that are teenagers that want to do stuff like this. The game on the go. Yo! We gotta go. Turn that game on. Man! Why? Oh man, Dad, I'm in the middle of it. Now it's okay. Boop. Put it right on their phone. Get in the car. Boom. That's who's going to appreciate this. And they're not going to want to deal with second-rate input lag, second-rate latency. They're not going to want to deal with it. They're going to want a similar experience to what they did on a dedicated device, the best way they can get it. Now, again, to my homie Paul G's point, cloud gaming is not there yet, and it's okay to admit it. It's not there where it's exactly like a dedicated device. It's not going to be that way for at least 5 years. That said, this cloud technology is impressive as hell. And it's for those that are doing it right, for those that want to be the best at this shit, the best. They've done a hellified job even in beta, making a difference hard to notice, at least in performance is concerned. And that's what's going to win the day as far as cloud service is concerned, on top of what? The games. So all I'm saying to y'all is understand what Google is trying to do here with this. Is the rollout messy? It's messy as hell. And after listening to the podcast Unfiltered interview that Phil Harrison did with Ryan Mcaffrey, it boggles me why the hell they would even want to do that. He's not out here more staunchly. But if I get one more, I can tell y'all what these two other services are. We got Heath Stevens, we got Paul G. I just need one more. Oh, hold on. No. Yeah, I need one more. I need one more person, because you know, y'all can tell I'm dying to tell y'all. I'm dying to tell y'all about these two other services. I want to get on. I want to kick Microsoft in the fucking throat. I do. Because their effort so far is pathetic. And I want to let y'all know, I'm supposed to be holding all my eggs in the basket until I release this video tomorrow. But I can't wait. I can't wait. I'm like a kid in the candy store. Mom, let me grab the Chico sticks. Let me grab them. Pause. Let me grab them. Cyrus, I want to tell y'all, but I need one more comment in the free messaging app. If I get one more comment, I'm gonna let the world. Hey, thank you, Heath. Oh, it was killing me. It was killing me. Heath saved the day. I'm gonna let y'all know right now. I'm gonna tell the world. I'm gonna let the world know the truth. You ain't want me to shine. Let y'all know right now. Let's do this. Let's do the suspense. Let's do the suspense. Hold on. Hold up for a second. I'm going to let the world know the truth. I'm going to let the world know the truth. It's coming, baby. Hold on. Where's that? Where that? Where that email at? Where that email at? Got everybody mad. Got everybody mad. Where that link? Where that? Hold on. Whoa. Hold on. Where's my? Uh-oh. Hold on. How come I can't find my? Okay, all right. This is bananas. Now I know I put this up here. Perfect. Let me go to my. I'm sorry, y'all. The chat killing it. I know what they are. Heath Stevens says, yeah. If we talk behind the scenes, I know you know. Let me see. At MK and Stadia. I know I bookmarked this. Twitter. Here we go. Here we go, baby. Here we go, yo. Here we go, yo. So what's the scenario? All right. Let me find it. Boom. No music. I don't want no music for this. It's official, people. That I can let y'all know. I'm gonna start with NDA platform number 2. NDA platform number 2 is Shadow Blade. Shadow Blade. This platform is phenomenal. What Shadow Blade does is it's all cloud-based. It basically creates a virtual computer for you out on the internet. All of your services, now they have to, anything that you have that is a game launcher that has, and these have to be PC games, right? Can include, guess what? Microsoft games. So to this day, Shadow Blade. Now, don't hold me to. I gotta confirm. I believe, yeah, because what Shadow Blade does is it searches your virtual computer for all of your games. And once it searches your computer for all of your games, your virtual computer, it puts it in a GUI, a graphic user interface that you can select that's tiled like a Netflix or a Disney Plus, and you play your game directly from the cloud from your virtual computer. Flawless. Flawless. In many regards. Flawless in many regards. Shadow Blade is $35 a month. You know what I'm saying? But so that's that. I'm gonna talk about that a little bit more tomorrow. So Shadow Blade is NDA item number 2. NDA item number 1 is, man, oh man, oh man. And Cyrus Burke, you in the chat. I remember hearing about Shadow Blade. Yeah, homie. Oh man. I can't. We always going at it. Shadow King. Shadow King talked about it. He's the really. He put Nethos down with it, and Nethos put me down with it. So big up to Shadow King for dropping that knowledge. Gotta be legend. Salute to you. But NDA item number 1, and I'm going to tell y'all. Woo! My God, my God. My God, sweet baby Jamaican Jesus. Is that Nividia Geforce Now. Oh, dear Lord. So let me run through these experiences with you. Advance to my video. So y'all get a precursor to this for supporting my channel. Nividia Geforce Now also works like a virtual computer, but it's only specific to games. Like Shadow Blade, you can actually use it as a virtual PC. So like, say for instance, if I ain't got a PC and I pay $35 a month, I can use the PC on my, use it as a PC on my phone. Use the PC on my TV, all that stuff. And it gives you a high powered rig. I think with the strength of a 1080 in it, I think, and all this other stuff, I can't remember. But whatever it is, it streams flawlessly. But in Nividia, however, I'll put it like this. Shadow streams flawlessly to other PCs and even to your phones. You know what I'm saying? Has some lag to it. You know what I mean? At certain times. Shadow doesn't handle cloud congestion well. What do I mean by that? If your network is clouded, you're going to be waiting for a while to either get connected or your shit is going to stutter bad. Okay? But that makes sense though, right? As long as your network isn't congested, it's great. If your network becomes congested, you start noticing some impact. But what Shadow does is, if your network becomes too congested, it shuts you down. It's like, nah, chill, wait for a second for your. Here's what makes Nividia better. Nividia is focusing straight on gaming, making gaming great in the cloud. So after you install your games on Nividia's Geforce service, Geforce Now service, it's optimizing those installed games to whatever device you put it on. I've played this damn thing on a second generation Fire Stick, and the shit was flawless. My God, my God, my God. I played it on a phone, a tablet, a plane, a train, green egg, whatever green eggs and ham go. You know what I'm saying? I've played this thing on everything that I could, and it's flawless. Now let's cut back to the music because I'm going to look for something. I'm telling y'all, and the thing that makes it number one also is the fact that what makes it worth it is, or number one, is the fact that it handles cloud congestion a little bit differently. If your network gets too congested and clustered, too much going on that it can't handle, it bumps resolution down first. And then if it's really bad, you might notice some momentary stutters. But it's handling, I don't know how the fuck it, I don't know how the hell it does it. But its handling of cloud is wow. Like it didn't skip a beat. And I say that to say this. IGN said that Google Stadia performs better than Project Xcloud and Nvidia Geforce Now, that the performance is better. And to me, someone who has tested all these platforms in real world situations, I didn't have to check compute units and bobowitz and all that dumb shit, because when you play a game, you just whip out your phone and you're playing and you ain't checking for that shit. So all you dumbasses that sit there and say MM2K, you ain't do that. Shut the hell up. Just by me being able to play this thing on real world situations, including a second generation Fire Stick, and you're telling me that Google Stadia is better? My God, my God, oh my God. Z's just gonna have to sue me because I'm taking that phrase from me. My God. Now, I did a simple search of net worth, and I'm looking here, and it says that Nvidia net worth is $3 billion. And it had an annual revenue in 2018 with an annual revenue of $9 billion. Okay. That's the company on its own. That's them on their own. Microsoft's gaming division alone made $10 billion in their 2018 fiscal year. Am I correct? Correct. With that being said, how does a company, I'm gonna look it up. Let's look it up. Microsoft net worth. How does a company, that made more money, how does a company that its gaming division made more money than Nvidia's net worth? The gaming division alone made more money than Nvidia's net worth. How does that say same company that's worth $1 trillion let Nividia outdo it. How? I'm gonna tell you how. Because they're not striving to be the best. And that's my problem. Microsoft just wants to be there. And that's why I'm kicking their goddamn throats in. Because this doesn't make any sense. Do you see this? Let's stop this bullshit about, well, the companies have budgets or whatever. Xbox is a representation of Microsoft. Microsoft is trying to sell products and services based upon its technological capabilities. And Microsoft, the hell with Xbox, the hell with stopping at Phil Spencer, Satya Nadella. Ooh, yeah, I'm going there. Satya Nadella and Microsoft. To continue to put out products and services in your gaming division that keep getting outdone by its peers. That's a reflection of you. Don't get mad at MM2K because I won't check the gigawatts and compute units and gigahertz. For Nividia, for Shadow, all I gotta do is just power the shit up. And it works. For PlayStation Remote, from the Potato, PlayStation Remote works better than game streaming from my Xbox, and you're worth $1 trillion. That's a reflection on you, Microsoft. Heath Stevens says remote plays its own thing. You're absolutely right. But that's what I'm saying, Heath. On all divisions, at all levels, Microsoft isn't number one anywhere. You made more money. You're worth more. You made more money than Nvidia's net worth. Why is their service in beta better than yours? Nvidia's service launched better than yours launched. And we're in 2019 right now. You sat on your hands for so long. You came out last. Next to Sony with this shit. You came out last. And we all know why Sony ain't come, because they ain't got to right now. But you want to talk Game Pass, Xcloud, Game Pass, and we know how you feel about this technology because the simple fact that Stadia got announced, y'all did a video all of a sudden. Y'all feel threatened by Google. Sony has their eye open on this. This is important to them. Hence why they put what they put in them slides about their way of doing mainstream selling of their commodity, right? But with that being said, they're not as staunch on it as you are. Y'all almost shit y'all pants when Google did their Stadia announcements. Why is everybody else's beta better than yours? You're worth, let's do it again, $1 trillion. But y'all mad at me. You see how this shit works? You see how this works? Y'all are mad at me because I'm just whipping out the phone and I'm playing. I'm boop boop, load up Nividia, boop boop, load up Shadow, boop boop. I loaded up Project Stream, boop boop, load up PlayStation Remote. Now, let's go back here. Sixth on that list is Steam Link. And I will say this. I'm very disappointed with Steam. Y'all know I love Steam. I'm not a Steam fan, but I love Steam. I love Steam. I love the platform that they provided on as it relates to PC gaming. I love Steam. That being said, Steam has this thing called Steam Link. And in-network, meaning streaming, the way Steam Link worked, let me talk about how it worked at first. and how it works now. So how Steam Link worked at first was, and Steam Link came out first with its beta, I believe. What it was is it streamed games from your PC, from your physical PC, use it as a server, and it streamed it to an Android device, right? And I didn't hop on Steam Link immediately. It took me about several months, but then once I did, I said, "Holy shit, this thing is good," right? And it was to the point to where I remember the game that I was playing. I was telling Nethals and Mass about this because I was like, "Oh, y'all got to try this, man." Is the game that I was playing was Metro Last Light. I played that a lot on Steam Link because I was towards the end and I had redid my PC and something happened and it didn't save in the cloud, and I was pissed. So I had to start all over again. And what I would do is I was working. It was during tax season for me, one of our busiest times, and I had to, I was working late. So the only time I could play games was at home right before I went to bed. So instead of trying to come up here and set up everything, I would just use Steam Link and I would play Metro Last Light from my PC to my Fire Stick. Same second generation Fire Stick. See, I'm testing. See, people are saying, MM2K, why ain't you testing this on the nanowatt proficient this device, that device? Because I'm doing real world play testing. I want to play on devices that may not be the best to get the overall broad capabilities of this software. What's the point of appraising something if I'm playing it on a tippity top device? Everybody does. The majority of people don't have the tippity top device. They have mediocre devices. So I'm playing a lot of this shit on mediocre devices. And that's why I'm sticking to playing to this shit. Now I got the Fire TV 4K. I got Fire Cube. I got all this shit. I refuse to test this on this because I want to see how it does on the subpar stuff. Now, what I have done, to be fair, because everybody was like MM2K, maybe Xcloud had a cutoff point. Maybe Xcloud just doesn't work on too old software. So don't knock it for that. And I said, fine. So I bumped everything up to my Fire TV. And the test that I used was the test that I alluded to earlier with Ghost Recon Breakpoint. You can't play Ghost Recon Breakpoint on Project Xcloud. So I said, let me see if I can come up with even if I give Xbox a handicap. I'm going to stream this internally from my Xbox and see if I get better performance than I can on the cloud. And if I can, I'll make note of it. I'll get them a handicap. And guess what? Even with the handicap, even with tying Nividia and Shadow's hands behind their back, they still kicked Microsoft's ass. I mean, what else y'all want me to do? I'm testing this in real world situations for real world scenarios, for real world people. Don't get mad at me. Demand that the $1 trillion company does better. They're worth $1 trillion. I revealed it. I appreciate you, bro. But I revealed it, Mr. Righteous Fish. Thank you very much for the support. Nevertheless. So NDA project number 1 is Nividia Geforce Now. Superb. NDA platform 2 is Shadow Blade. Superb. Number 3 is Google Stadia. And I am basing this off a Project Stream. I get my kit today, but as far as what I know, but again, I got to test this on my own. But as far as I know, it's supposed to perform better than these other two. So we'll see. If that's the case, I'll bump it up. If it's not the case, I'll bump it down. Number 4 is PS4 Remote Play. And the reason why PS4 Remote Play is up here is because even though it's limited to in-network streaming from a dedicated device, it does that better than Project Stream. I put Project Xcloud out there, but y'all get my drift. I couldn't fit Project Stream up there. Project Stream is where it's streaming from your computer. Console streaming, as they call it. But the console streaming functionality from Xbox ain't as good as PlayStation 4 Remote. Xbox is the software company. They're selling Azure servers. I can't give you no flack. I'm sorry, beta or not. I can't give you no flack. It boggles my mind that even in beta, Sony is doing better than you streaming from a dedicated device. Sony is. You're out here selling Azure servers, and Sony is doing better than you streaming in network. You don't get. I'm not grading on the curve. So that's why what Xbox has offered as far as game streaming and their cloud technology, that's why I have them next to last. Because in every facet that you look at right now as today stands, you're not doing better than anybody else besides Steam Link. And I was talking about Steam Link when I was playing on the 2nd generation Fire Stick. It was phenomenal. Input lag was very low. Noticeable, latency was very low. It was noticeable, but it was low. Then what Steam tried to do is they tried to do kind of like a hybrid solution. They're still streaming from your computer, but they can either stream it in network or they can stream it out network. And for some reason, them flipping the switch to where they stream from your console in network or out network has caused a bottleneck. And now, when I try to play in network, it ain't that great. And when I go out of network, it's subpar. But Project Xcloud is doing better than it on both fronts, in network and out network. So I'll give them that, even though Steam Link is in beta too. But again, you're out here selling Azure servers. You got companies out here that when the technology was far less along when it was and less resources than you, their betas released at a better state than you are. What comes to mind is the infamous, would you ship that? That's what comes to mind. All right. So there you have it. My thoughts on Google. My thoughts on Phil Harrison. I'm a little bit more reassured. I just think that Phil needs a very good PR firm. Like they got to have a PR firm out there. And the messaging should be at launch with Stadia, you're getting a better performing ecosystem with more freedom and more mobility than most of the consoles out there. And you get all this great performance without having to shell $2,000 for a PC. You ain't got to worry about dealing with expensive video cards. For $139 a month. I mean, for $139 or $130, you can get an ecosystem with great fidelity, mobility like no other in your home, without the expensive price point of a PC. Come check out Google Stadia. Also, check out Google Stadia when we really blast off 2020. We're adding game stream out of network on your phones. We're increasing our fidelity, increasing our performance going into the next generation of gaming. You don't want to miss it. Get here, right now. That's your call. That's the call to Stadia. You want to get them 60, you want to get more consistent frames? I'm going to tell you this much. This is the reason why I don't really game on my Xbox all like that anymore. Now that I have a PC, I'd rather have frames than resolution. So with people saying that what's it called is working at an upscaled 1080, it's a consistent 60 frames per second. I mean, well, no, it's a more consistent 60 frames per second. And wait till you gamers start playing games that are more consistent 60 more frames per second more regularly. You'll never want to go back to 30. I just got a free copy of Jedi Fallen Order for Xbox. I only want to play it. I'd rather buy it. I got a free, I repeat, this game that everybody's upset about because it's not ever going to be recognized by Game Awards because it fell into some weird black hole gap, which that's a whole nother podcast. But this game that is so excellent that across the board is getting critical acclaim, that'll never be recognized by the Game Awards. I got a free copy of it for Xbox. I got Xbox One X. I don't even want to boot it up. Why? Because I don't want to play at 30 frames per second. Yeah, I feel you, Burke. I might have to get this to you, bro. Or I might do a raffle for it. I think I'm gonna do a raffle for it. Hey yo, everybody love Xbox. Everybody love Xbox. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I'm sorry. You know what? I'm gonna make it up to y'all. No. I am gonna make it up to y'all. I forgot. I got another raffle coming. I got a big time raffle coming. Y'all hold y'all horses. I'm gonna make it up to y'all. I got a big. We'll get to that later. We'll get to that later, baby. Because you know what's been going on? I haven't created much content besides all this rambling I've been doing, and I feel bad about that. And I got people that have been supporting me on Twitch that actually pay a subscription for you know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna make it up to everybody. For everybody that's following me, my Twitch subscribe, I got a raffle coming. Y'all gonna love this shit. You know. But what happened was I promised my son. He's like, Dad, he wanted me to buy for him. And I was like, how about I buy for myself and I give you my Xbox version? And he's like, all right, man. All right. So I might be doing that. But hold, buck that. Yeah, I got something coming, man. Y'all gonna love this shit. Y'all gonna love this shit. But you know, hold your horses. With that being said, that's what it is, man. That's the real deal Holyfield. And I don't care who don't like it. You know, cloud gaming is a serious thing. Is it serious enough to overtake consoles? No. But for those that want great performance without shelling out a whole bunch of money and I want mobility, it's going to be something for them. Do I think that it'll outclips PlayStation? No. Can it outclips Microsoft? Who knows? Are people going to want to get rid of their $1,500 rig? No. Don't never get rid of their $1,500 rigs. No, you're not getting that type of fidelity. But you're getting a lot of bang for your buck as far as performance is concerned. All they got to do is up the content, which they're going to do. They're going to up that content. And they have to slash the prices. Google, I'm sorry, you got to slash the prices. You can't have old shit at $60. It's not going to fly. It's not going to work. So, with that said, let's go to a couple phone calls. Let me start up my I'll take a couple phone calls. We'll talk about this. Hold on. Let me get Skype up first. Hold on 1 second. Give me 1 second. I'll let y'all know when it's up. All right. Skype is up. Give your boy a call. Holler at your boy if you want to. We can talk about it. Until I get a phone call in, let me go to the chat. Mr. Righteous Fish said Bucks at the ISPS will up their prices. No, here's what I can say that Verizon is doing. Because I was talking to a Verizon rep in anticipation of all this. Like, this is what y'all gotta understand. Google is Google. So with all this net neutrality stuff and all this shit going on, Google have been talking. Look, man, they're trying to utilize Stadia as the final stitch in their takeover of your life. You know what I'm saying? Like, gaming is the last thing in your life that they're really not in. You know what I'm saying? And in my talking, I went up my internet service. I got Verizon. I got that gig up, gig down, right? So in me getting that gig up and gig down, I was talking. And I was explaining to the rep, because I was like, for Google Stadia, what did they say? You needed 100 up and 100 down, or 200 up and 200 down, something like that. And I was like, but I want more, because I do a lot of game streaming on top of that. And if I'm going to be testing out Google Stadia, you know what I'm saying? Why would I limit myself? I don't want no data caps. So I was talking to Verizon. They gave me the gig up, gig. They said, you ain't got nothing to worry about. You good. You good to go. Ain't no cap. Ain't no cap. Get the gig up and the gig down. So I got that. So I was talking to the rep, and then they was like, yeah, with the Google Stadia coming out and all that other stuff, they're fully aware and they're fully adept of what's out there. Now for a gig up and a gig down, I'm dropping $70 a month. It's not bad. I'm dropping $70 a month for my internet. I went from 40 to 70. You know, not bad. And I bought my own router. I got my own top of the line router. And I just did that in a month. This is like the first 30 days. As a matter of fact, I just paid my bill yesterday. Did the first 30 days that you know, it's been 30 days since I've done that. But I've been testing this shit for over a year. So Google Stadia, Google has been talking to people. What, a gig up and a gig down shouldn't be $70? Oh man. I mean, if you're saying, if you're talking on a moral compass, I mean, maybe you're right. But to get a gig up and a gig down, bruh, outside of this deal that I got, you're talking about $110, $100, $110 on average. So in comparison to the market, I got a good deal. You know what I'm saying? But I think that it's too early for us to say Google Stadia is out for the count. It's way too early. The performance is just, as far as I'm being told, and as far as what I can experience even in beta, the performance is just too spot on. And if what people are saying is true, it's better than Nividia, then goddamn. I don't even know how. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't even know how that's possible. If they told me the best it was gonna get was Nividia, I'd be like, you know what? I'm good. This is good enough for me on the go. All right, we got a call coming in. All right, hold on 1 second. Let me see here. Yo, you are live with your boy MM2K. We talking Google Stadia and cloud gaming. Who might I be speaking to? I think I have an idea.
It's Heath.
Hey, Heath, what's going on, Heath? What's going on, my guy?
Hey, my whole thing about the internet stuff is you have to think about it this way. Mm-hmm. They can push whatever they want. So what the ISPs are doing is dialing it back and making lower packages. Mm-hmm. And there's a data cap. Mm-hmm. They can push through whatever the fuck they want because it's not a limited commodity. Like, you know, there's only this much coal left on the earth and blah blah blah. Like, it's bullshit. Just like they were fighting net neutrality so hard. Yeah. That net neutrality was a very good thing because they can fucking turn down how much, you know, traffic's going to your site and all kind of shit. That shit's wrong. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
No, you know, you're totally right. I was having a conversation with a good friend, Heath, exactly about that. And this whole reversal on net neutrality is basically behind that. And he used to work for a company called Stargate around here. And he said that what a lot of people don't know is that 20 years ago, these companies already
the monopoly.
They already had T1 capabilities. What they do is they throttle their own internet to do just exactly what you said. Over time, increase costs. So yeah, it's a bunch of bullshit, like you said. And Google, hey look, I'm not trying to exonerate Google at all. Google got their greedy hands in this shit. You know what I'm saying? They know what the fuck they doing. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah. And most of them ISPs are connected with either cell phones or cable, okay?
Yeah.
The cable companies already split up the whole country. They don't encroach into other areas. Mm-hmm. So there's no fucking 4 or 5 different providers, so the cost would come down because they're all fighting.
Yeah. Yep.
Like cell phones. You know what I mean?
Yep.
It's cheap. You can get cell phones for nothing. You can get plans for nothing. The whole thing's bullshit. Just like that shit with the vape pens.
Uh-huh.
And dickhead came on there and said, "Oh, well, we're going to do this and that." Yeah. Well, then when he realized that, oh, I might not get reelected, he reversed it. And it has nothing to do with health or us. Yeah. It's about themselves.
Yeah.
Like this whole thing is bullshit.
Yeah, I don't trust
that's why I can't stand the ISP.
I was having a conversation earlier and I was telling somebody, I don't trust none of them. None of the presidents.
Nope.
None of them ever. Nope. I don't trust none of them. None of them.
The whole thing needs blown up.
Exactly.
Everything.
It's all of them. All of them. Yep.
Term limits. There needs to be term limits and everything.
Yep.
That's how you do it, and you get rid of the money, and then everything will go back to normal.
Absolutely.
It's not that hard, but all this gaming shit, just like you said. Why is Microsoft, a $1 trillion company, getting their dicks kicked in by Nividia, PlayStation, and everybody else who comes into gaming? You know what I mean?
That infuriates me. You know why that infuriates? And people are like, well, if you don't like it, leave. But this is like $2,000-$3,000 later, Heath. You know what I'm saying? After years and years of promises and $2,000 to $3,000 later. Like, I've spent more this generation as an Xbox enthusiast and, trying to support the brand in anticipation for all this shit to come to fruition that they said. And all I see is half-assness, half-assness. You know what I'm saying? But people are mad at me for speaking the truth. You know what I'm saying? So
here's another little nugget for you.
Mm-hmm.
I know you'll love this. Now, Xbox has however many sold, right?
Yeah.
But here's the problem with whatever their numbers are. Most of the Xbox fans, like Z said, he spent $3,000 just on consoles.
Yeah.
Well, really, that's only one sale.
Mm-hmm.
You can buy 6, 10, whatever you want, but really, it's only one fucking sale, really.
It all matters in the
PlayStation.
heart. I'm sorry, matters.
Yeah, PlayStation people only buy like one. I have one PlayStation. That's it. And I'm a hardcore gamer. Some will for collections or whatever. They'll have an extra one or whatever. But it's nothing like the Xbox guys. Them Xbox guys buy multiple consoles. So really, the numbers are inflated. You know what I mean?
And
because one guy has 6 consoles.
At the end of the day, it's about software. And you push your hardware to do software. So it just shows you how they fail to get saturation because they're so behind in software. But they don't care about that. At the end of the day, they care about money. So they're making good money to them, and that's why they come out here with this Project Xcloud shit, and people look at me. Oh shoot, hold on. I gotta decline you for a second. I'm sorry. Call back 617. No, not you, Heath. I'm gonna wrap this up with you, and then they can call back. I'm sorry about that, 617. Call me back, and as soon as I hang up with Heath. With that being said, what happens?
Yeah, it's crazy.
What happens is Microsoft looked at the fact that Sony made $16 billion, they made $10 billion, and they did it in a half-assed fashion. So what's their incentive of striving to be the best? What's their incentive?
Exactly, because they're doing less now than they ever have, and they're making more.
Thank you. Yes, absolutely. And people.
So why would they do anything? There's no point. There's no incentive for them to do anything.
I don't get it. Now, what it is, Heath, is you're a PlayStation guy. I just denounced the system last week. So we're up here capping. But it don't matter. An illiterate person can tell you a stop sign says stop. It is what it is. It's a stop sign, right? And at the end of the day, it don't matter who's having the discussion. Microsoft has a half-ass approach. They know they got people capping for them, so they get those people to get on it. Oh, Project Xcloud, this is fantastic, even though there's a whole bunch of latency and you twirl around like a ballerina when you hit the left trigger. But for those that want the truth, you're gonna get the truth here. Period. So.
Oh yeah, that's the way to be.
Hey, I appreciate it, Heath. Thank you for calling as always. Until next time, good brother.
Yep, I'll talk to you later.
All right. All right. Sorry about that, y'all. The way Skype works, I can only take one call at a time. And even if you were trying to leave a voicemail, but call back in. Call back in, whoever that was. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, to what he said, I get it. I mean, look, Heath will let you know. Me and Heath don't agree all the time. We don't agree all the time. But Heath knows that people are allowed to express their opinions here. All right, we got another call coming in. Hello, it's MM2K. We talking Google Stadia. You are live on there. Who do I have the pleasure of speaking to?
Hey, what's going on, man? It's Trey.
Who's this?
It's Trey.
Oh, Trey, what's going on, Trey? You sound a little down and out today, man. You all right, man? What's going on, man?
Oh, no, I'm good. I'm just watching the show, and I saw you were talking about Stadia and whatnot.
Yeah. Hey, go ahead. Speak your truth, brother. Speak your truth, brother.
If anything, I'll say this.
Yep.
There's potential in this. It's just the fact that they almost shot themselves in the foot.
Yeah. Yep.
Before they even got out of the game.
Yeah. No, you're right. You're right.
So if anything, by all means, whoever did the PR did a horrible job, and they need to go.
Yep.
They need to go ahead and just clean shop on that.
Yeah.
Let
me know what you think about this, Trey. I think the problem after this show, listen, I'm gonna drop the link to that what's it called? Listen to that, and you will be amazed. Like, how come you didn't explain Stadia like this? Like, I think the problem is Phil Harrison and his communication. He's not he don't jump on communication when it needs to happen the way he should.
Right. Right.
So, let me see here.
And the way I see it is that if he knows his strengths and his weaknesses, if he knows he's not a good communicator, he needs to find somebody who is.
Exactly. Absolutely. I'm looking for it right now. IGN Unfiltered. It's a great listen to because you learn a lot of stuff that you normally wouldn't learn. Hold on, let me see. Unfiltered it's Unfiltered number 46. I'm gonna put a link to the website here. It's a part 1 and a part 2. Why is there a part 2? Okay, I don't know. Hold on. How Studio factors into the next gen. Oh shit, I may have not even heard this part yet. Oh God. Uh-oh. All right, y'all gonna want to go to part 1. Because I don't even think I heard part 2 yet. I didn't realize it was a part 2. Hold on, let's play it real quick. I want to play it real quick while I got you here.
Yeah.
This would be such a great family photo.
Oh, come on. But go ahead, it's still working on commercial. What are your other thoughts, Trey?
Well, I mean, the big thing, for what you're saying, it runs smooth. And I saw a review on GamerRank. They always do like the before you buys and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And the guy, he pretty much was saying, like there are times when it runs good, and then there's times when it runs bad.
Okay.
But other than that, it's just one of those things of you got to remember this is just it's just a beta, it's just a test through. The real thing's not out yet. If anything, you can always give out your feedback to them, let them know what's working here, what's working there, what they can work on, and everything is so often. I mean, the real thing really doesn't kick off till 2020?
Yeah.
So they got plenty of time to get a lot of feedback from a lot of people and to work out all the bugs that's hindering it or that's making it better. And whatever they're making it better, just build up on top of that, and I feel like they'll be all right.
I totally agree. Here's what I also say, Trey. Like, Hold on. Below is part 1 in case you missed it. With the okay, where's part 2 at? Hold on. Let me see something. Hold on 1 second, Trey. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no problem.
Hold on. Oh, okay, now. Hold on. This is.
Low latency, twitch input. Right. You gotta be precise there. Correct. We've got shooters in the form of Borderlands, obviously Destiny.
All right, so no. Okay, so y'all that link that I put in there, y'all, you'll get the complete interview as I heard it, you know. But with that said, Trey, yeah, no. Now are me and you gonna sit here? Do I think that within the next few years, you and I are gonna sit here and say, you know what? I'm not getting a PlayStation 5. I'm getting Google Stadia. I'm not even saying that shit. My premier console experience.
Even just like giving up on consoles as a whole right then and there. Because I mean, let's just say facts. I mean, this just isn't stable. I'll be honest. This whole like Xcloud and Stadia, this is a whole new ball game for both companies going into this thing.
Yeah. Well, it just doesn't have the fidelity.
A whole new ground.
It doesn't have the fidelity that a PlayStation 5 is going. I don't even think, even after they update the service at launch of PlayStation 5, my money's still going to be on PlayStation 5. Now, maybe Google Stadia a year after may play catch up, but you know, and then you know what I'm saying? Who knows? But my money's on the PlayStation 5 going to be the overall home ecosystem experience of choice, right?
I totally agree with it.
But here's the thing, though. It's what's going to be your side chick. Now, for me, normally, Xbox was my main chick. PlayStation was my side chick. Going into next gen, PlayStation's going to be my main chick. And then Google Stadia could possibly be my side chick because of the remote play. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
It does have a space. It has a space. So,
right.
You know.
But the thing with Google is this: if you're coming out of the gate and you're coming out brand new, you know, not too many people know about you. They know about the name of Google. They know that Google's by far the biggest search engine on the web.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you have different aspects of Google. You have YouTube, Google Maps, Google this, and so on and so forth. It's just the fact of now you're entering into uncharted territory for these guys, which is video games.
Yep. And
the lineup that they have for gaming, I honestly feel that it should have been expanded just a tad bit more. Me personally, I feel like if you was to pre-order the Standards Edition in the condition that it's in now, as a starter, as a beta, I'll call it a beta or an alpha, depending on how y'all want to see it. I feel like you should have gotten a couple more games besides just Destiny.
Absolutely, I agree. See, this is what they want you to do, though. Trey, I don't know if you heard me talk about this part of it. This is what they want you to do. They basically want you to test Destiny. You know what I'm saying? And send them back statistical data. But what they did is they wrapped it in the facade of a launch. You know what I'm saying? Because they want you to pay for it. And they knew that it would be a harder sell to get you to pay $130 to just play Destiny opposed to play $130 for a launch. That's basically what they're doing. And they don't have the luxury that Shadow Blade had, where Shadow Blade basically made you pay $35 a month for their beta, because what Shadow Blade does, it runs off of shit that you already own. So Google Stadia now gotta entice you into his ecosystem, and they had to put up these games to make it seem like it's a full-fledged launch when they actually want you to beta test their shit for a fee so they can upgrade their blades as they need to. You know what I'm saying? What are your thoughts on that?
I say Destiny is a good game to start it off with, because if you anything, the biggest marketing tool that I saw that Google was doing was their controller. Yeah. They were saying that the controller has, you know, literally 0 to no input lag when it comes to pressing the controller, looking at your screen and seeing whatever action that you just pressed, happen right then and there without a slight delay.
Yeah.
So if anything, I think that's one of the best ones because, like you said again, shooter reaction type thing. You want that lower latency so you can get that upper hand on the competition wherever that may be.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see, but I would just caution everybody and say, don't count Google Stadia out just yet. There are some questionable things going on. They definitely need a better PR team. Definitely, no doubt about it. But, you know, keep your eye open because once they get the data that they need, they really do the real rollout in 2020, before Project Xcloud gets it out of beta. Trust me, before Project Xcloud get out of beta, they would have had not only the resources, but all the statistics and data that they need in order to do what they need to do. So,
right. And if anything, to agree with you on that, Microsoft really and honestly, they are lazy. I don't know.
God.
I don't know where on earth people think that Microsoft is doing all these amazing things. This whole xCloud, all this xCloud business, this xCloud bullshit was just retaliation on when Google announced that Stadia business.
Yeah, exactly.
That's when they looked at themselves and was like, oh shit, if these guys mess around and get on the jump before us, it's like the space race.
Yeah.
Shit done went to this whole space race between Russia and the United States back in the 60s. Everybody wanted to do everything, and damn it, all of it gonna take is for someone to land on the moon to end this whole goddamn charade.
Yep.
So if anything, if Google messed around and beat Microsoft to the damn moon, it's literally to the point where xCloud is gonna be just this non-existent thing. And to be perfectly honest, it's almost as if Google has somewhat of an upper advantage to xCloud because of all the problems that people have seen about xCloud when it comes down to shooters.
Yep.
That's the primary thing.
No, definitely. I totally agree. Hey, Trey, thank you so much for calling in, good brother. We're going to wrap up the show on that. I just wanted to get a couple calls in there, and I want to thank everybody for supporting it. But yeah, no, great points. And I can't, no lies, like, you know what I mean? No lies detected. You're absolutely right. This was a disaster of a launch. I get what they were trying to do, but they should have done better at rolling it out, period. So.
Right.
All right, brother. Well,
all right, man.
Talk to you later, man.
All right.
So, there you have it, people. I can't, yesterday was a very interesting, fun. It was very fun for me. We had, oh man, I forgot homie's name. He called in. He said the Death Stranding is going way to test of time, and it's going to outsell everything. It's going to outsell Mario Brothers. You know what I'm saying? And Mrs. Pac-Man combined, and Tetris, right? And then we had Heath Stevens. Me and him went back and forth over Fallout. We turned it into the Fallout debate, right? I had a good time yesterday. And we had some differences of opinion, which are absolutely adored here. But I have to say, I can't disagree with anything that anybody has called in and said today. I can't really disagree with anything that anybody's saying in the chat. Like, Google Stadia did bungle their launch. But with that said, and cloud gaming is, as much as I'm impressed with Nividia and Shadow, and I'm gonna see what Google's doing, I'd be a fool to sit here and say that it's at a state to where it's gonna replace gaming. It's based upon technology that requires you that's not as stable as it would need to be at this moment in order for it to be a 1-for-1 match against dedicated hardware. And for two, we do have data caps as an issue, and that has to be taken into consideration. You know what I'm saying? So that said, I want to thank everybody for coming in. What's the name is not acting up. Well, it is. It's messing up, but it's not messing up where I can't read it. I want to thank Heath Stevens. I want to thank Buckdat. He said the different areas that Google barely even talk to each other. I also want to thank, let me see, Mr. Righteous Fish. He says Stadia had a bad launch. I don't see this taking off in today's fast-paced climate. Who else we got in here? I want Soundwave. He says Google is basically linking their data centers to your house. Nobody's personal computer or console can match that kind of power. Okay. Interesting. That could be the secret to their sauce. Who else we got in here? He said Who else we got in here? We got Buck Dad. He coming out. Hey, Buck Dad, he coming after. Why you coming after Trey like that, man? See, we got Paul G. He says Sony went with Microsoft because they were cheaper than Amazon Cloud. We got Devil Shooter. He said if PS5 isn't doing 60 frames per second standard, I'm going to PC. Now I'll restream one cut up. We got No Russian. He says you saying Sony went to thrift store? Laugh out loud. Oh, come on. Who else? And I'm sorry, y'all. This is skipping. Restream is acting up, man. What else we got in here? We got Gotta Be Legend. I appreciate you. Size Burt. He said I could have guessed Shadow Blade. Yeah, Soul King. Soul King put us down. I called him Shadow King earlier. Soul King. Dev Kit Gaming. Tell me. Joe Hansel. Calm down, MM2K blood pressure. You know how I do, man. You know how I do. I get that Geritol. I'm good to go. Antonio Alicia says, I never tried Xcloud yet. Yeah, man. It's. I'm gonna say this about Xcloud. If you want to just marvel at the tech, if you want to say, ooh, this looks very pretty on my phone. Ooh, I press a button and it responds. Then yeah, Xcloud is impressive. But try playing a shooter. Try playing something that requires pinpoint precision on it. It's not gonna fly. Then the tech ain't gonna seem that impressive. See, people are sitting there with the cameras and just moving left trigger, pressing the button and moving around a little area. Play the game like you would the console. And compare you playing the console to that experience and tell me how impressive it is after that. And you ain't gonna be impressed. That impressed. Then boot up Nividia. Geforce. I urge everybody, if you have PC, well, Nividia got a few PC games that are free. So I urge everybody to go sign up for Nividia Geforce now. Sign up for it. It's free. It's free. And you get a virtual PC gaming space, gaming rig. You just download shit to it and boot it up, and you will be amazed. I'm telling you. Shadow, you can test it out for 10 days for $10, and then after that it's $35 a month. That's what now I can explain to y'all why I told you I'm shelling out like extra money. I had to up my internet speed. I had to go. I'm connected to Shadow. I'm testing that shit out and other things that I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? So, but it's all for a greater good, right? Who else we got in here? And Power Monger, Xcloud is still laggy. Yeah, it definitely is. Top Dog, there's still input lag. Deuce X Machiato, I appreciate you coming through. They're trying to lure people with big titles on Xcloud, but look what they have on the horizon. Nothing but goofy gumdrop graphics, bruh. Tell me about it. Devil Shooter said, how's my favorite outrage channel doing today, man? Hey, man. I gotta be something, right? I gotta be something. Alex Vesereza says the publishers at the set the price, stop spreading false information. Okay, so I appreciate that. I appreciate that. But here's the problem with that, Alex. As any game retailer, including Epic, we've seen this, where you sit down, you negotiate the price on the platform, you get everybody's approval, then you move forward. Prime example, Epic Game Store. When Epic did those flash sales of Borderlands, Gearbox and 2K came out of the woodwork and whoa, whoa, whoa! You didn't negotiate that with us first. So you are right. But that's only half the truth. The other half is after they sat down and negotiated the terms and how long it was going to happen, Epic came right back out with their blessing and then discounted the game, right? Right. So we need to see Google Look, they got money up front. Drop them prices. Drop them prices. Meaning, sit down with these devs, negotiate the price, put the money, put the duff on the bag, put the duff on the table. Here. That's all they got to do. They got to do it. Rakuda Perez, yo. I think Alexia, did I have another comment here too? Because you're a newcomer, and I appreciate when newcomers participate. So I want to read both of your comments. But no, it's not about spreading misinformation. I didn't say that Google alone determines the price. I said you can't. I just simply said you can't be putting out cheap. You can't be putting out old shit for $60. That's that. So you do what Epic Games had to do by, after they got the collar pulled, and you negotiate the price. You come in with the duffel. You're Google. Period. And even though I've been capping for this for this ecosystem, again, I spread the truth here. When I cap, I'm capping for truth. And the truth of the matter is that y'all got more than enough resources. Put the money on the wood. Put it on the wood. Overdone. Says Stadia reminds me of Xbox having no game. Christopher Hart, Black Friday sale when they haven't even launched yet? That's bad. I think it's what they need. It's what the doctor prescribed. Because it's not good that they got $60 old games. Wartoma can't even stand Steam 1K60. What else we got in here? Hey, Nightbot. Stop. I got to deal with this Nightbot. Social Joys. Yo, MM2K. Do you know when Amazon's dropping their streaming service? I don't know. You know what? When Xbox was starting to fail me, and I was hearing the rumbling social joins of what Amazon was looking to do, I'm gonna be honest with you. That was who I was looking to go with, because they had worked with getting a version of the Crytek engine. The whole presentation, the whole footprint was like of a hardcore brand. So it looked like they was going to take the mantle from Xbox. Xbox dropped the hardcore mantle. Now they want the kitty aesthetic. Honey, I ate the roaches. So I was going to float with Amazon. But I heard that they shut down a lot of potential studios that they were going to work with, do some shit with, and they scaled back a lot. So something's going on at Amazon. So I don't know. That's why they've been quiet. Heath Stevens says, I agree with Xbox, and Xbox says, Google Stadia equals paid subscription for resolution and $60 a game. That's a fail in my opinion. Iron Fist says, Google Stadia is doing megaton garbage out here. Oh, man. And Geek Kuma says, Joe Hansel. Oh, he says, okay, Boomer. And D Almighty. He said, run PlayStation. America is just a voice. All right, man. So I appreciate everybody for coming through. Thank you. Thank you for the phone calls. Like I always say, I appreciate y'all. Drop something in the chat. The free message chat when y'all can, man. It really helps out the show. And that's it. I want to thank everybody that came through. I'm going to check for my Stadia package. If it's up and running, I'm going to do this testing. I ain't going to lie to y'all. I'm a little disappointed. I'm going to say this. Fuck it. I'm two beans in a bucket. I got something against Best Buy. I want to think that it's like bittersweet dealing with Best Buy. Best Buy is why I'm doing this. I was on my consumer advocate kit because of Best Buy. Several years ago, I went to Best Buy to buy a VGA converter. VGA converter converts audio, auxiliary cables to VGA in case you want to hook something up to a monitor, a VGA monitor at the time, right? I had one in my possession, but it broke. I went to Best Buy to see if they had one because I didn't want to, because at the time, ordering off the internet wasn't as fast and efficient as it is today. It took weeks for everything. So I didn't want to wait weeks. It broke. I was gaming on monitor. The fidelity, I couldn't deal with gaming on the TV. So I went to Best Buy to buy a VJ cord. These mugs told me a VJ cord did not exist. Said I was out of my rabbit mind. Made me go all the way back to the house, bring my broken VJ cord. I damn well chucked it at their heads and said, y'all are the most incompetent pieces of shit I've ever met in my life. You know what I'm saying? And it was the Geek Squad. And after that, and then dealing with them trying to help people buy computers, and them selling computers but loaded up with junk that slowed down your PCs, which then forced you to bring the PC back to the Geek Squad for them to work on. After they were running that racket, I grew I grew a discerned hate for Best Buy. And because of that discerned hate, I voiced my frustration out on the internet, MySpace at the time, and that led me to doing other things, which led me to New Age Faction and a real low-scale publication, which led me to doing what I'm doing today. I said that to say this. I'm getting right now you can only stream, Stadia to your phones via a Google Pixel phone. There's supposedly a Black Friday sale at Best Buy, where you can get a Google Pixel for a real cheap price. I had bought a video card, a capture card from Best Buy several years ago. It didn't work. They gave me credit for it. I've had the credit to this day. So under $100, I was going to get this new Google Pixel 3a phone. You know, not a bad phone to have. Not, you know, to have a test unit in the house, like I always say, right? When I went Saturday, they said that they were going to have the sale ongoing all the way up until Black Friday. I said, really? They said, yeah. 2 people in this Best Buy told me this. I was like, all right, let me scrape up my pennies. I'll be back. I could have got it right then and there. Honestly, it wasn't me scraping up my pennies. Let me stop lying. My wife was there, and she don't want me buying no other gadgetry. So I was like, I'm coming back without my wife. So me and my homie rolls out to Best Buy yesterday, and to my dismay, it wasn't on sale. And I said, what? And they said, yeah, that was only a doorbuster sale. You gotta wait. It's gonna be on sale again on Black Friday, but we're not running that sale all the way to Black. I said, hold on. So y'all ran a doorbuster sale for one day on a Sunday, and y'all gonna do it again on. I said, don't make any sense. I said, but if that's how y'all do it, how come I had 2 people? And I know that one guy was a manager. I said, why did 2 people tell me otherwise, including a man? Oh, I don't know, sir. And that just tells me that, and it's like that with every Best Buy that I go to. You consistently get people, they may be, but they don't know what the hell they're talking about. Best Buy is filled with the most incompetent people on this side of the earth. Okay? So, I want to thank you, Best Buy, for reinvigorating me and me making sure that I stand firm and telling the truth. It's because of you that I got in this game in the first place, and it's because of you that I consider myself a consumer advocate in a lot of ways. And despite my personal biases, I am going to tell the truth. And I'm gonna let people know what the deal is. Despite your fuckery and your fuck ups, I'm gonna be here to try to combat that the best way that I can. That said, I want to thank everybody for watching. I appreciate y'all. Enjoy y'all gaming day. I will be back with y'all tomorrow with another video. We got Scram Punks tonight. It's going to be a live one. Hey, Heath, it's going to be a live one. Don't miss that on Dirt Griggity's channel. 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Follow Dirt Griggity on YouTube. And I'll be here for more. I'll drop another video tomorrow, going more in depth with my testing. And then I'm planning to do something big on Friday. With that said, I appreciate everybody coming out. Love y'all all. Thank y'all for the support. And as always, y'all have a wonderful, wonderful gaming day. Peace.